Alright guys, so we started a few seconds early, but early in this case is better than late. I'll be speaking at this volume actually live and I'll probably be sweating a lot because I actually have the cold and I don't want to lose my voice. And I have 2 classes tomorrow as well, so hopefully everything runs smooth there. What we are doing today is unequal sharing, as the title of this video should show. I am not going to go deep into the explanation of unequal sharing, because there's a video on my channel that does just that. So you can always search up Cohen Springer unequal sharing and see the breakdown. What I'm going to do, however, is do a bunch of unequal sharing questions so that you can see the different techniques that is used in unequal sharing. One of the main techniques that I will use is making use of what I call the block diagram. So here's the first example. At a school event, the total number of students, parents, and teachers who attended was 465. So we have a total. The number of students was 235 more than the number of teachers. So we have a addition. The number of teachers was 32 less than the parents. Now this is a subtraction, but we can change it to an addition depending on who we're referring to. For example, if we started with the teachers as one block, the next block will be the parents, who should have the same amount as the teachers, which is a block, plus 32. If you understand that type, I understand. And the final block should be the students who have actually 235 more than the teachers. So we still have the same block. And this will be 235. So the next step after you've been successful with your block diagram, the next step is to remove excess, if there was excess in these types of questions. So we're going to remove the excess from the total number that we have, total money or total number of students. So 465 minus 267 is 198. Now I'll be speeding through the subtraction parts. I'll be using some of my notes to help me speed through the subtraction parts because I expect you all to know subtraction. This number now has removed this yellow excess and leaves me with the green blocks. Now, how many green blocks do I have? I have 3. It means that 3 parts or the 3 blocks represent 198 students. So 1 part is 198 over 3, which is 66 students, 66 persons actually. So what you need to do in this part of the question is stop and see what the question is asking again. So the question is asking how many teachers, which is simple. The number of teachers is simply 1 block. So therefore we have 66 persons. Now if you were asking for the number of students, you would have to add that 235 there. Understood? So I got that. I got that. If you got 66, I'm seeing a lot of people with 66. The factory has 384 workers. The number of skilled workers employed at the factory was double the number of unskilled workers. So the workers are divided into 16 groups, with each group having the same number of skilled and unskilled workers. So what are we looking at here? How many unskilled workers are there in each group? Well, in total, once again, you have a total of 384. 384, and the number of workers, we can say skilled and unskilled. And in this case, the number of skilled is double, so I'll use 2 blocks, that of the unskilled, which is kind of weird in a factory. Normally, the more skilled the worker get, the less of them you have. You all hearing me? So, how many unskilled workers we have? Well, we could find out how much each block. There's no excess. There was no excess given here. So you could just find out how much each block entails. The workers are divided into 16 groups, with each group having the same number of skilled and unskilled workers. So in the end, I will have to do something about the 16 groups. How many unskilled workers are there in each group? But before I do that, I should divide to find out how much each part represents. Not so? So 3 parts, I don't have to remove excess, would be 384. So one of these parts, the unskilled workers then, will be 384 divided by 3. And that is 128. Once again, I'll be jumping through the arithmetic, the division and the multiplication and the subtraction. We're learning the concept of unequal sharing here. If the screen is blurry, you can increase the resolution on your end. So this is 128 workers. However, the question didn't ask how many workers on scale or anything we have. They asked how many groups. And there are 16 groups for each. Workers are divided into 16 groups with each group having the same number of skilled and unskilled workers. So I will need to further subdivide this 128 by skilled by 16 to find out how much. So the number of unskilled in each group, since I know there are 128 workers that are unskilled, because that's one part, would be 128 divided by 16, which represents 8 workers, and I'm seeing that answer all over the place. Well done, guys. Number 3. In a pet store, there are 2 aquariums with the same number of fish. So hopefully I can last this whole thing because I'm feeling like you. I'm feeling like I just work for 3 days mixing concrete. In a pet store, there are 2 aquariums with the same number of fish. At the end of the week, the first aquarium has 56 fish and the second aquarium has 68 fish. The number of fish removed from the first aquarium was twice the number of fish removed from the second aquarium. How many fish were originally in the aquarium? I need to do this again. At the end of the week, okay, so we finished off with, we have 2 aquariums, so I'm using another block diagram here. First aquarium, and now I have a second aquarium to consider. And what they are telling me is at the ending of the week, I have 56 in this aquarium. And at the ending of the week, I have 68 in this aquarium, a little higher. But the number of fish removed from the first aquarium was twice the number of fish removed from the second. Okay. So initially, they both had the same number of fish. So watch how we do a block diagram like this. We want to make a block on top that represents the same size. And at the ending of the week, we have this amount of fish, 68 here still, but we have 56 here. And there's an additional piece of information. Stop spamming, otherwise you'll be blocked. Spamming is if you keep writing the same thing over and over. You will be blocked, right? So what the additional piece of information is, class? The additional piece of information is that the number that was removed from the second aquarium is half, or the number that was removed from the first aquarium is twice the number that was removed from the second aquarium. See that? So now we can figure out something here. Can we? Can we figure out something in this? Anybody seen our way forward here? This is one block. This is another block. This is another block. What I usually spot in these questions, and I'm just being very extra with the diagram to help people who visually understand things better see it, is that if I subtract how much in this aquarium, 68, and how much in this aquarium, 56, I would be able to find out how much is one of these blocks. Because I have 3 of them. Seen it? When you finish with this question, to see it and understand it, like when you're in my seat, it's very easy. But maybe some of you are not understanding it at all. So when I'm finished doing the question, this is a question that you can take a picture of and repeat it. It's one of the toughest styles in unequal sharing. So it started off the same, but this one dropped down to 56, this one dropped down to 68. And the difference between how they dropped down is 1, because twice as many were removed here as here. So it means one part or one block is represented by 68 minus 56. You all understand? So 12. So each one of these yellow blocks that I highlighted here means 12. 12. Because if I add 12 to 56, now I will get 68 here. 12, 12, 12. So how many fish were originally? So originally, in both of the aquariums, I could use any one. I could use the first aquarium. It'll be 56 plus 12 plus 12, which is how much, class? Isn't that 80? 56 and 24? 80 fishes. Or if I use this aquarium, originally has two L's, right? It will be 68 plus 12, 80 fishes again. You all understand that? So in this case, you have to do the unequal sharing in a kind of reverse setting. So you could either send the video to 1080p or to 760 or 7, I think it's 760. Those settings will be high enough so you can see it. So don't only be satisfied if you understand it now. Don't only be satisfied with that. Definitely take a screenshot to come back to this video tomorrow. Watch over the question at the start and try to do it for yourself. Because what if a question of this difficulty comes second to last in your exam? You want to make sure you're among those who figure it out, right? A charity organization received 207 blankets for 3 donors, Amy, Ben, and Claire. So this is looking like a straightforward and equal sharing. Most of you all will be able to figure this one out with a bar diagram. So we have Amy, we have Ben, we have Claire. Amy donated 3 times as many blankets than Ben. Ben donated 2 times more than, oh, I'm seeing what's going to happen here. So this is a nice example to show you how I would think about this question. So Amy had 3 times as many as Ben, right? I'm drawing them big because I saw something is about to happen. So this is Ben, and Amy has 3 times the amount as Ben. But Ben donated 2 times than Claire. So I'll have to put Claire half of Ben. You all agree? So if I put Claire half of Ben, to make all of them the same size of Claire, Claire has twice the amount that Ben has, and Amy, who has 3 times this, 3 times 2 will be that Amy has 6 of these Claire boxes. Tell me if you all understand that. You all ever do a question like this? Yep, that's making full sense. And now we're ready to go because there's no excess, like they didn't say plus 22 or anything like that. Now we just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 parts. So 9 parts equals 207. So how much is 1 part going to be equal to? 207 divided by 9. Can you tell me that number? You can work it out for yourself. It works out to be 23 blankets. What is the question asking again? How many blankets did Amy donate more than Claire? Well, Amy has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts. Claire has 1 part. They have a difference of 5 parts. You understand? Now you could also work out how much Amy gets. You could say 6 times 23 and then 1 times 23 and you subtract. Or you could just jump to 5 times 23. Because 5 times 23 makes sense. So how much is the difference? So the difference, 2 ways you could work it out. Work out how much Amy gets. Those of y'all who did that, you would see it's 138 minus 23. So this is 115. Because 6 times 23 is 138. And 1 times 23 is 23. Or you could say the difference is equal to the 5 parts times 23, which also works out to be 115 blankets. Yes? Oh boy. Pressure in the camp here, boy. But we're pushing on the maths must go on. Anybody else feeling sick? The amount of people I see regularly, and I don't know if it's that, and also I travel a lot these days, so. And also, I have other reasons, other thoughts why I am getting sick. Like, um, I'm 34 years old right now, but in my 20s, I really got sick. But now I'm just getting, originally last year and this year, I got sick so many times. 3 friends share 37 flowers among themselves. Kate got 7 more than Maddie, who got 3 more than Lauren. How many flowers did Lauren get? So start off and see if you can figure this out. Most of the time, they're trying to find the person who has the first block in the block diagram. So in the block diagram, you're trying to find the person who has the least amount of stuff on their name. Katie got 7 more than Maddie. Maddie got 3 more than Lauren. You understand? So Lauren seems like to be the best person to start with. Usually it's the person at the end. Yarina and John, the person who like this BTS person. I hope I'll feel better as well. So Lauren is the first one to start with. Maddie has the same amount Lauren has, except Maddie has an additional 3. And Katie has the same amount Maddie has, except she has 7 more. So how much does Maddie has? Maddie has a block plus 3, and Katie has a block plus 3 plus an additional 7. So what is the excess? Because before we begin, we need to remove excess. Given that we know that the total is 37 and the excess is 7 plus 3 plus 3, 13. So when we remove the excess, we end up with 24. What were the flowers? And these 24 flowers now represent these blocks. That's why we remove the excess. One of the secrets in unequal sharing is to make the sharing equal. So that's why we remove the excess. Because once it's equal, we can divide. You can say 3 parts now represent the 24. 1 part will be 24 over 3, which is 8 parts. And how many flowers does Lauren get? Lauren will get 8 flowers. As simple as that. A bakery sells cakes and cookies. Each cake costs $22.50. Oh, we have some spammers though already. Spammers getting blocked. Each cake costs 22. All right, so this is an unequal sharing involving money. Some people have problems, and they understand the one we do just now. But when money involved, finding the excess could be a little troublesome. So let's see if we can figure out how we'll get the excess, if there's an excess in this. So there's cakes and there's cookies. These types of questions, you may not need to apply the block diagram. So how I will do it. Each cake costs $22.50. So the excess on 1 cake is $22.50 more. And essentially, this is the total. So we already spotted total here. So we need to remove the excess to divide. It's 8 flowers. Did I say 8? I did say 8. Yeah, I did say 8. Hold on. Just double checking our spams. I'm not seeing any spammers. What are you talking about? So the excess on 1 cake is $22.50. But if Sierra spend money for 4 cakes and 6 cookies, do we trying to make the cakes, the amount of money you spend on the cakes, match the amount of money you spend on the cookies? So we want to remove that excess. So the excess on 4 cakes, we need to multiply $22.50 by 4. Take your time and do that. You should get $90. $90. So 4 cakes, $90. We can't go up to 40 questions today because we're doing big questions. So we may go up to 20 something. So $90 is the excess. So now we could remove the excess because essentially what we have done is make the price for the cakes and cookies the same. That making sense? So the cakes and cookies now at the same price if we remove the excess. Remove the excess that was spent on the cakes. So 245 minus 90 is very quickly 155. So if we were in a situation where the price of the cakes and the cookies were the same, it will cost 155. How many of them do we have? 4 cakes, 4 cookies. So in all, 10 items would be equal to 155. So one item would be equal to 155 divided by 10, which is very quickly $15.50. How much does each cookie cost? Well, a cookie didn't have any excess, so the cookie costs $15.50. How much would the cake cost? The question when you ask the cake, you'll have to say it costs $15.50 plus the excess for one cake, which would make us end up with 22 and 15 is 37 or the 50, so it'll be $38. But I didn't ask that. We're going good. We're going real good. Number 7. The company consists of managers, part-time employees, and full-time employees. What you need space between 7 and 8. Like, how would we be able to fit that whole question later? This man didn't even give you enough space, boy. Let's see if we could pull you to the side and try you up here. Alright, so 40% of the employees are part-time, 20% of the remainder are management. Given that there are 280 full-time employees, finding number of employees. This isn't too much on equal sharing, but has some ideas there. Okay, so 40% part-time. You can work out how much this is. Because they gave us the total. This is the total. Full-time. Oh, no. So this is total full-time, yeah? And there are 3 branches, managers, part-time, and full-time. Okay. So 40% is part-time. So 20% of the remainder. So remainder is about 60%. Well, not about exactly 60%. If 40% is part-time, the remainder will have to be 100 minus 40, which is 60. And I resist the urge to increase the volume on our voice, otherwise it will go in like 1 second. So 20% of 60. So managers is 20% of 60. 20 over 100 and 60 over 1. That's 12. 12% of the original. So okay, 40% part-time, 12% managers. See in that class, or you see where I'm going? So part-time, we have the managers here. So finding the full-time shouldn't be that bad. The full-time will be a whole 100% minus the 40, which you already know is 60, and then we need to take the 60 and minus the 12. So the full-time, because that's the one they were given, and to equate that, full-time will be 60 minus 12, which is 48. 48%. So now we have how much the full-time represent. And we know that 48% is equal to 288. So finding for 100%, you multiply by the reciprocal, I could say 48 over 100 is recognized as 288 employees. So finding number of employees in the company. So the 100%, you multiply by the reciprocal. You remember this trick, we do this nearly every week. We have been doing this. Break this down for me. And Kamani is saying that the number I should get is 600. So that means there are 600 employees. which is the first part of the question. The number of managers would be what? Number of managers will be what? Managers will be 12% of the 600, which is is this question a trick? I don't know if they call any managers employees, you know. So this is 72, but I don't know if they call any managers employees. So 600 workers. So maybe it's a trick. 600 workers, and the employees will be 600 minus the managers, which will be 500 and what? 28 employees, part-time and full-time. So there's a little bit of vagueness there. You'll understand what I'm trying to point out here? There's a little bit of vagueness there in that I don't know if they include any managers in the employees. And I feel like if you have the question phrase in the ending here, that maybe they won't. So let me just make a note of that so I can remove that vagueness. Vagueness in question 7. So yeah, maybe you was doing some spamming stuff. If you keep saying so, you keep repeating the same thing over and over, you can be automatically timed out. And if you do too much, you'll be blocked. So a grocery. So yeah, we already got the number of managers as 72, but if I remove the managers, I should get the employees that are part-time or full-time. A grocery store has, has 180 fruits on display, consisting of apples, oranges, and bananas. Which out of these fruits, which one do you like the most? Out of the apples, oranges, and bananas. There are 72 apples and an equal number of oranges and bananas. Calculate the percentage of oranges on display. You can do a block diagram for this, but I don't feel this requires a block diagram. Because we can remove the apples out of the total and we'll get 108 fruits. And this is representative of oranges and bananas, which have the same amount. Right? Remember, equal number. So 2 parts equal 108. 1 part would be 108 divided by 2, which is 54. And as a percentage, because that's 54 oranges, 54 bananas. So the percentage oranges is going to be 54 over, not the 108, over the total. Calculate the percentage total, 180. How are you so quick in this question, Mike? Should be a multiply sign here. Well done, YouTube people. And when we work this out, 18 could go into 54 3 times. We will get 30%. Well done. Number 9. Lizzie measures the heights of an oak tree and a cedar tree. The total height of the 2 trees is 16.4 meters. If the oak tree is 3.8, wow, this is a quickie. So we have the oak tree. This time instead of drawing I can draw the block. So both of them are the same height except, well, the oak tree is 3.8 extra. So I need to add that 3.8. Otherwise, they would have been the same height. So that's the excess. So the oak tree is, that's our oak tree there. And our oak tree does not look like this. Does our oak tree look like this? And the cedar tree, well, the cedar tree is not the height of the oak trees. 3.8 meters shorter. So that's our cedar tree there. So we can remove the excess from the total, as we normally do. If we remove the excess, we will have 16.4, that's the total, minus 3.8, which is 12.6. Verify that that's 12.6. So now this 12.6 represents the equal share, the two parts. So two parts equal 12.6. They are equal now. One part would be equal to 6.3. What is the height of the cedar tree? So 6.3. No necessary adding on back to get the oak tree. 6.3 meters. Okay, number 10 is squeezing up as well. Let's see if we can pull him out to handle him on the side. 3 siblings, Sarah, Mike, and Amanda sharing a bag of candy. Sarah took 87, Mike took 75, and Amanda took 30. This question seems strange from the word go because they tell you how much each person take one time. So what is question going to ask you? Oh, any piece? Oh, this is the balance question. This is a balance question. And these questions come like once every 3 years. So when you watch the past papers, so maybe they could say a question just like this, just different names, different values. So they want to balance it. Because you realize, look. Sarah took 87. Mike took 75. And Amanda is scrunting with 30. So what you need to do is find the average. Because you want to see how much average. You want to see how much each one of them should give Amanda, so we will come up equal. So find the average. How do you do that? Get the total, 87 plus 75 plus 30. Work it out and then divide by 3. So when you add up that, you should get 192 divided by 3 is 64. Once again, those who just join are skipping out some of the additions and things, right? Those are easy. You can work that out yourself. We're doing more the understanding the idea behind the question. So when I add up 87, 75, and 30, I get 192. So now that I have the average, I want in the end everyone to reach down to 64. Well, Amanda will have to go up to 64. But I'm not too concerned with how much extra she gets because they asked me how much Sarah might need to give. So Sarah will need to lose. Sarah gives 87 minus 64, which is, and Mike will give 75 minus 64, which is, so the first one is 23, second one is 11, and that's your answer. 23 and 11. How many pieces of candy should Shira might give to Amanda so that easily? No, it depends, right? So like if they have, if SEA, did I say CXE just now? If SEA has, you could answer like this, Sarah gives candies and Mike gives candies, well then you know they expect you to write 23 and 11 here. But how the question is phrased also kind of insinuates that they maybe just want the total amount of candies. So they may have something like Amanda gets, and you just put your answer, which is the sum. Amanda will get the 23 and the, which is the 34 candies. If you understand that type, I understand that too. Right now I'm running through napkins here. I can't turn on the fan so I keep the room warm so that my voice don't go. Can't turn on the AC because I start to cough. And actually, sweating is kind of good for the school. But you're just going to be seeing me sweating up a storm here. So pulling the exam, you wouldn't be like this sweating down the place. The combined weight of a backpack and a suitcase and a duffel bag is 56. Suitcase is 5 heavier, backpack is 12 heavier. Right, so we do one like this already. Who we should start off with? Backpack is 12 kg lighter than a duffel. So start off with a duffel. No, 12 kg lighter than the duffel. So I could do it in reverse, but it would be better for me to just keep adding on so I can remove the excess instead of adding back the excess. Because when you do it in reverse, the excess is be eaten into the fraction, and that's be kind of confusing to understand for some people. So I'll start with the backpack and walk back through the question. So I'll give the backpack 1 block. The duffel bag is 12k lighter than the duffel bag. So the duffel bag is 12k heavier, 12 kg. And who else? The suitcase is heavier than the duffel bag. Suitcase is 5k heavier than the backpack. Oh my gosh. So it's just 5. So I don't even need to add on the extra 12. 5k heavier than the duffel bag. You understand? So we have the duffel bag weight. We have the backpack weight, sorry. I said some confusing things just now. We have the backpack weight. The duffel bag is 12 kilograms plus the backpack weight. And the suitcase is 5 kilograms plus the same backpack weight. So now we remove our excess as we know how to do from the total, because the total was given. Was the total given? Yes. So remove the excess of 56 minus 12 and 5 is 17. So that's 39 kg. These 3 parts represent that. So 3 parts. You all seen it happening time and time again. This is the most popular style. 1 part be 39 over 3, which is 13. So then what next? What is the weight of a duffel bag? 13 plus 12 is 25. The duffel bag is going to be the 1 part plus the 12, which is 25. The weight of the suitcase will be 13 plus 5, which is 18 kg. If you're seeing these questions, type I see in it. I see it. I see in it. You see in these questions, you see it? The sum of 2 numbers is 198. The larger number is 5 times smaller than what is the value. Okay, so this is unequal sharing as well. And the one mistake people make is that they divide by 5 or some kind of thing like that, right? When it should be divided by 6, because what is happening is that you have 2 numbers. You have a smaller number and you have a larger number. If you use a block diagram, and the smaller number is 1 block, but the larger number is 5 times that 1 block. How many blocks in all? Not 5. How many blocks in all? 6 blocks. So 6 blocks is what the 198 represents. Now, anybody who's still struggling with unequal sharing and you're feeling like, oh boy, all these students getting these answers so quickly and I'm not seeing it too strong yet, I have videos on the channel breaking down the concepts, the general concepts in unequal sharing questions. So you can search Cohen Springer unequal sharing after this video and vibe it. You just sit down and hold a meditation with that video and then come back and look it over and over and over and over until you begin to see the patterns. Because so far we did 12 questions, but we already do like about 3 or 4 different patterns that keep coming up. So 6 blocks is equal to 198, and 1 block or 1 part would be 198 divided by 6, and that is 33. So 198 divided by 6 is 33. So each one of these blocks represents 33 class. So what is the value of the larger number? The larger number is 33 times 5, which is 165, which is what Maya is telling me that's the way to go. And 169, right? Yes, and Sylvia is saying that's a good thing. So Mr. and Mrs. Johnson is not our SEA people without encountering Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, yes? 3 children? Yes. So it's definitely a bar diagram coming in here. Should come in, let's see. They're doing the same kind of 2 times the amount. There's usually the youngest, the least amount of candies. And what are you doing with 180 chocolate bars, bro? I've been a parent for 7 years and I've never encountered 180 chocolate bars to give my children. Your parents ever buy 180 chocolate bars? Let me just be making up thing for question 6. Not 180 chocolate bars. With the oldest getting 3 times as many as the youngest. 3 times? So let's start with the youngest. Then I'll put the oldest here. Let's put the middle here to go in order. Middle. And then oldest. So the oldest got 3 times as many as the youngest. I hope I'm doing this correct. And the middle getting twice as many as the youngest. Okay, well, they made it easy for me. So the middle got 2 times. So the youngest has his 1 block. Oldest has 3 times that block. And the middle has 2 times that 1 block. And that's it. That's it. No excess, nothing. It's so simple. How many parts? 6 parts. 6 parts is 180. So 1 part is 180 divided by 6. Some of you will use a fraction method. I find the bar method is the best universal method to teach students, but some teachers teach a fraction method. So they will say the youngest get 1 out of 1/6, middle got 2/6, and the oldest get 3/6. So anyhow, 1 part is equal to 30 chocolate bars. So how many each child receives? He gets 30, he gets 60, and 90. So I should put 80 by mistake, it should be 90, right? And that's it. Dixie has 40% of the number of paper clips Olivia has. Sorry for being all sniffly and thing. Winnie has half the number of paper clips Dixie has. If Olivia has 56 paper clips more than Winnie, how many paper clips does Dixie have? What? How many people in this? Dixie, Olivia, and Winnie, 3 people. Dixie has 40% the number of paper clips Olivia has. Winnie has half of the number of paper clips Dixie has. Olivia has 56 more than Winnie. Now, I could have worked this out without using the block method, but you see how they say 56 more than Winnie here? Block method will be the best method to explain this. Because I could keep going in fractions all the way down, and if they're telling me how much Winnie get, well, I could just equate the fraction, do my inverse, and find the total and that kind of thing. But they didn't give me how much each one represents, they gave me the more. Excuse me. 40% is the same as 2/5. 40% is a member of the 5th family. So I want to try something. I want to give Dixie 2/5 as what Olivia has. So Olivia has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it making sense? So this is 40% of the 100%. The next one is going to make it and break it. When he has half, yes, very good. If it was half this, I just split it into 10 parts. But now it's just Winnie who has half how much Dixie has. So a block diagram worked perfectly for this. I was able to explain everything using the block diagram. Dixie has 2, Olivia has 5, because 2/5 is 40%, and Winnie has half of Dixie, which is just 1 block. So now when they say 56 more than Winnie, Olivia has 56 more than Winnie, I could just use that as the difference in the blocks. And I do an idea like this, I think twice already since we start. So I can say that these 4 blocks represent 56. So how much is 1? 1 block is 56 over 4, which is 14. So how many paper clips does Dixie have? So Dixie has 14 times 2 is 28. Yeah, 40%, 2/5. How much already has? A half. Yeah, but block method is the fast. That's the easiest, right? That's the easiest way to show it. But excuse me, it's one thing for me to show you it. It's the next thing for you to be able to do it in the exam for yourself. So you really need to practice it. So identifying which one of these techniques to use. It says 40% of the number of paperclips has. Another problem with this question is they use percentage and then they use fractions. If they use fractions all the way, then that makes sense. So the percentage is really 2/5. I just staying a little longer on it so everybody can just get to see that a little bit more. The percentage is 2/5. 40% is 2/5. Remember the fifth family, which is why learning families is really good. So I was able to create a block diagram based off of that. Like if I said there's Paul and there's Peter, and I said Paul got 60% what he got. Well, then I could draw, I know this is a member of the fifth family, this is 3/5, so I can draw 3 here, and then I can draw the full 5 here. You all understand? And this is 60% of this. That's the way how you can change percentage into a block diagram. That making sense? Let's do another quick one. Like if I said Tristan and Annalie, Tristan and Annalie, and I said Tristan got 75% of what Annalie got. This is a member of the fourth family. This is 3/4. So I'll draw 3 here, and I'll draw 4 there. And then if somebody get half Annalie, I'll put that person with 2, or something like that. Okay, so hopefully you all see that and ready for him. Type you understand it if you understand it. I understand it. The number of pens owned by seniors and juniors of a company was 260 pens. The seniors and juniors, the seniors have 34 pens less. Now, as I said, you can do this question in reverse. It's like you can put the juniors, and then you can put the seniors, and then you can say remove 34, and then you can add the excess. How many of you all know that? So it'll be like 260. A parent sent me something where the solution was adding the excess, and they get 294. And then you divide by 2, and you'll be able to find out how much the juniors get. And you need to subtract 34 to find out how much the seniors get. How many of you all understand that? There's a way to add back the excess. But most of the times you use the block diagram, we prefer to remove the excess. So what we'll do is, the better way to do this would be to draw the seniors like this, and draw the juniors like this, and put them at 34 more. Instead of putting the seniors with 34 less, which is another way to write it, you put this with 34 more. Now we can remove the excess, which we are accustomed doing. Both ways are correct. Just make sure you understand. 260 minus 34, which is 226. Oh boy, 226. And then we share the remainder, so 2 parts is equal to 226 minus 34. Wait. 226 divided 226. So 1 part is 226 divided by 2, which is 113. That's not the answer. We wanted to know how much the juniors get. So the juniors get 113 plus the 34, which is 147 according to code. Number killer. Number 16. Let's come on beside number 16. They're fighting here now. So read number 16 while I go and get some water and see if you all can put the answer in the chat. Be able yourself. All right. So let's see how much questions we have to go. 16 up till 25 questions. Oh boy. You pass the half mark though. Come on, sir, you can do it. Come on, sir. You can do it, sir. Come on, Mr. Springer. Jasmine went to the store to buy fruits and vegetables. Each pound of fruit cost $7, and each pound of vegetable cost $9. She bought 5 more pounds of fruits than vegetables, and oof, what is going on here? So I told you, usually when CXC, I keep saying CXC because I teach mostly CXC classes. Usually when SCA bring these questions with money, unequal sharing involving money, you have to remove the excess money. Pretend both of them cost the same amount. The fruits cost $7, but the veggies cost $9. You see what the excess is there? So to pretend both of them cost the same amount, I need to remove excess from 1 pound, which is, and they do really use pounds, so unless it has no meaning to the question, so you don't need to worry about it. So removing the excess from 1 pound would be $2. But she bought 5 more pounds of fruits than vegetables and spent a total of $121. Which one costs money? Fruits. 5 more pounds of fruits than vegetables. The problem is she spent more in the fruits, which is interesting. So 5 more pounds of fruits. All right, so let's say she bought 5 more pounds of fruits. She spent 5 times $7 extra on fruits in terms of the pounds, which is how much? 35. So if I remove this, I'm coming back to here because it's important. So if I remove this excess first, I'll get 131 minus 35, which is, how much that is? $96. So we take all that excess 5 pounds of fruit she buy because that was messing up the question. So it's $96, and now we have the equal number of pounds of vegetables and equal number of pounds of fruits. But there's an excess of 2. But since we have an equal number of each, I will approach this question with another technique that I have. I can consider this. Let me use a different color. So I was planning to remove all my excess 1 pound, my excess $2, but I'll do a different technique. And this came in SE as well. Let me use another color. I will use purple. I will consider this as 1 package of fruits and vegetables and veggies. So this is 9 plus 7 is $16. Y'all understand? So 1 pound of fruits and vegetables costs $16. And I removed my excess fruits. So now I have equal amount of packages, $96 worth of them. So number of packages would be 96 divided by 16, which is $6. No, £6. Right? The dollars cancel, it's pounds. 96 divided by 16. $96 worth of fruits and vegetable packages. And each one costs $16, so I have £6 worth. So how many pounds of fruits did she buy? Well, she bought the £6 plus the initial £5 that we removed. So she bought. You'll catch that question? This was a different approach. First time we used this approach in this session. We did one like this, I think 2 weeks ago or something like that. £11. £11. Nice question. Nice question. Where is number 17? Come here, 17. In a baking competition, Fiona is another person from Shrek. Fiona baked 95 cupcakes. She bakes 5/8 more. She baked 5/8 of the number of cupcakes Debbie baked. How many cupcakes did they bake together? This is the same thing we did when we was doing the 40%, and I said 40% is a number 2/5 family. They didn't even give you a percentage, they gave me the fraction straight up. So we could use our bar diagram for this. We could use our bar diagram for this one time. We don't even need to use the bar diagram, we could just equate. Fiona break 5/8, the number of cupcakes. So 5/8 is representing the 95. So the whole 8/8 will be 95 by 8/5, which is how much? Five into this one, 5 into this one, and the 4. 19. 19 times 8. 152. 152. So 152 cupcakes. Now this 152 cupcakes here is talking about what? It's talking about how much cupcakes Debbie made. So this is Debbie, and this is Fiona. So this is Fiona, and this is Debbie. So therefore the total would be 152 plus 92. 152 plus 95. So that'll be 7 for 247 cupcakes. Okay. Didn't need to even pull out my whole block diagram thing. 247 went down good. Alright. Number 18. The library has 690 books altogether. There are 150 children fiction books and 320 adult fiction books. The number of adult non-fiction books. So there's a next category. 3 categories. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 times the number of children, another category. So very rare is bring 4 categories like this. Normally all the questions we do so far is either 2 or 3 categories, 2 or 3 names, 2 or 3 items to consider. How many adult books are in the library? The number of adult fiction books is 3 times the number of non-fiction books. Okay. Not that bad. It's just that it have a lot of categories. Yes, I'm sick. In case you didn't notice, I'm fighting down a sickness here. Alright, so we have how are we going to write this one? We have the children, CH for children. We have the children fiction. We have the adult fiction. Now we have the children non-fiction. We have the adult non-fiction. Are you good with that writing? How I write that down? The children fiction books is 150. The adult fiction books is 320. And just a number. The children non-fiction 3 times the number. The adult non-fiction is 3 times the number of children in fiction. Alright, how that looking there? So that's all we know so far. What is this they're asking us? What they're asking me to do here? How many adult books are in the library? Do we know how many books altogether? Thank the Lord, we know how many books altogether. So I have to consider this part here as excess to be able to solve for one part. So I have to remove the fiction books, both adult and, which is like the excess now, both the adult and children. So 690 minus 150 plus 320. So I'll only be dealing with this set. 150 plus 320 is 470. 690 minus 470 is 220. 220. All right. So far we know that 1, 2, 3, 4 parts equal that 220. So how much would one part be equal to? 220 divided by 4, which is 55. Okay, what's the question? How many adult books? Well, we have the adult books would be equal to the 320 fiction adult books. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 parts. 3 parts by 55. Let's see, 3 by 55 is what? 165. 320 plus 165 is how much, class? What's a question? A question take you all around the moon and come back, yes? We went to Jupiter, we land down in Saturn, then we circle around Pluto and come back here. We even visit some dwarf planets and things. Let's call them dwarf planets. Maki, Haumea, Ceres. We went around all over the place with this question, boy. 485 books in the end. This is a nice question to soak down. Mark is 4 years old, has 2 siblings. The sum of his siblings' ages is 3 times that of Justin's age. So Mo, his brother, is 6 years older than his sister. How old is Mark? Okay, so this is similar to that last question in that they want to take me to planets and back, boy. Yeah, boy, they want to take me all over the place here, boy. So Mark is 4 years. His siblings who is Justin? I feel this was a mistake in the question. This should be Mark. That should be Mark. I'm gonna check. So, mistaken question 19. Maybe when they were creating the questions, they mix up the names. Question of the day. The question for this Sunday is, who is Justin? Who is Justin? Where did he come from, my friends? Who is Justin in question 19? All right, so I feel it has to be Mark here. So Mark is that the sum of his siblings' age. So you have a brother and you have a sister. Justin should be Mark. Yeah. Okay. So what we know about the brother and sister. The brother is 6 years older than the sister. So this is the brother. He's equal to the sister plus 6. All right, y'all, pay attention. So how old is Mark's brother? Once we know the sum of the siblings' age is 3 times that of Mark's age. Can we show that in the block diagram? Not really. We could write it. We can say the 2 parts plus the excess. So let me remove that excess. How much is 3 times max age? As the total, they try to put the total in this, guys. So 3 times max age is 4 times 3 is 12. And if I remove that excess 6, 12 minus 6 is 6. And the 2 parts should be equal to the 6. You understand that now? So these 2 parts is 6. Because this is equal to 3 times the age. I remove the excess. Yes. So 1 part would be equal to 3, or 6 divided by 2, which is 3. And how old is Math's brother? So Math's brother, Math's brother is the 3 plus the 6, which is 9 years old. Don't feel again a better gist of unequal sharing. It takes a lot of practice. Some students, it's either 3 categories here. You're either in the category where you're not too understanding what I'm doing, which means you need to do a lot of revision and fractions and go over my videos on equal sharing. Or you're in the bracket where you're understanding what I'm doing, but if I give you a couple questions, you may not be able to get all of them out. And then there's a bracket where those who understand it and they can repeat it in questions. So if you're in the first 2 brackets, it means you need to bring up yourself to the bracket where you can see a brand new unequal sharing question and know which technique to bring out to solve the question. So 3 friends, Alex, Bob, and Charlie went to the movies. We near the end. Alex paid $11 more than Bob. He also paid twice as much as Charlie. Together, they paid 84. 3 friends, Alex, Bob, and Charlie went to the movie. Alex paid 11 more than Bob. So Alex, this is Bob. I put Bob twice for a reason. No, I shouldn't. I know Alex paid twice as much as Charlie. And he paid 11 more than Bob. How to draw Bob? Bob paid the same amount Alex paid, which is twice as much as Charlie, but 11 less, because Alex paid 11 more. So this is one of these situations where you all have no working around this one. I have to subtract 11 here. Instead of putting like add 11, I'm going to put the subtract 11 here for Bob. You all understand that? That's why let me double check it. Alex paid 11 more than Bob. He also paid twice as much as Charlie. How much did Alex contribute? Six plus 3 is 9. Yeah, that's 9. I said 9, I just didn't write it properly. So you all understand this type? I understand if you understand. I'm trying to see if I could find an easier route. 3 friends, Alex, Bob, and Charlie went to the movies. Alex paid 11 more than Bob. He also paid twice as much as Charlie. So I'll give him twice as much as Charlie. But the only way to give him 11 more than Bob is to take out 11 from Bob. If I start with Bob, then go to Alex and put plus 11. Then go to Charlie and put... Yeah, there's another way I can do it. I don't know if this way would be easier. So maybe I can start with Bob. This is Bob. And Charlie paid, Alex paid 11 more than Bob. So I can put Alex. So this is Bob, this is Alex. And I can put Alex plus 11. And he paid twice as much as Charlie. So I can put this. Then I can put 5.5. You understand where I get the 5.5 from? So this is half of that plus 5.5. So if I want to, I want to keep adding on. Take it in again. I'm going to explain. So this is 2 ways you could draw this block diagram. You could say Bob has a certain amount, Alex has the same amount Bob has plus the 11, and Charlie has half of that. Yes, half as what Alex have. But Alex has 2 blocks and 11. So Charlie will have the 1 block, and 11 divided by 2 is 5.5. So there's 2 ways to draw the block diagram, and then you start to work it out. So let me see if I work it out both ways, if I'll end up in the same ship. Together, they paid $84. What a messy question. So together they paid $84. So I need to add back the excess here. So if I add the excess, it will be 84 plus 11. It's 95. How many parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 parts equal 95. 1 part would be equal to 95 divided by 5 is how much, folks? Feeling a little messy on this question. 95 divided by 5 is 19. 19. So this is 19. So Alex gets 19 times 2, which is 38. And I can work it back out and verify, which is the sweet part for these questions. And I feel like this is one I want to work back out to verify. So I would have saved time in the exam to definitely verify this one. Charlie, Bob. I know Alex got 38. I know Charlie got 19. And I know Bob will get 38 minus 11, which is 38 minus 11 is how much, class? Would that be 27? And let me see if this makes sense. Alex paid 11 more than Bob? Yes. He also paid twice as much as Charlie? Yes. And all together, does this add up to give me $84? 9 and 8 and 7. Yes. 4 and 2. And it does add up to give me $84. So this works. This works. This is 100% correct. In this method, if I insisted on doing this method, does this method work? This method is looking a little suspicious. So I started off with Bob. Alex paid $11 more than Bob, but he also paid twice as much as Charlie. Oh, this method is a little scary because I'm going to get decimals here for every part. I'm seeing it already, but it will work out as well. So I would have to remove the excess, which is 16.5. When I say 84 minus 16.5, I will get a certain number. I'll divide that number by 5. I will get how much for one part, and when I multiply by 2 and add 11, I will still get 38. It will work out. I just feeling too tired to work it out. Those of you who are adventurous can check it out. So two ways to solve this question. Come on, y'all, stay with me. Let's fight through the rest of these questions. They're getting pretty tough. James and Nathan are playing a game where they score points for each successful attempt. James scores 18 more points than Nathan. If the total points scored by them is 162, how many points did Nathan score? So very quickly, I will have to remove, you'll see the block diagram, draw the block diagram for this for yourself. So I'll have to remove the excess. This one is easy. 162 minus 18, I'll get 144. And this represents 2 parts. Both of them would have the same thing. So 2 parts would be equal to 144, 1 part. 144 divided by 2 is 72. And James and Nathan, James scored 18 points. So therefore Nathan is the 72 points. I raced through that one without a block diagram. See if you can draw the block diagram and get the same answer that I get. 22, reaching down to the ending questions here. Let me take a little vote and see how many of you all would have viewed every single live that we have done every Sunday, even if you catch it in the recordings. In a zoo, there are 375 animals in total. Of these, 1/5 of our birds, 1/5 of the animal are birds, baby and adult birds, and the others are mammals, baby and adults. Okay, they just are bird and mammals. There are 3 times. Oh, I saw a question like this on SCR a few times ago. The number of baby birds is equal to 7/15. The number of baby mammals, how many baby birds are in this? Oh my gosh. So what this question doing is overloading you with information. So you need to stop, read the question a few times and then see if you can just keep working simply. See if you can figure out a few things. 1/5 are birds. How many baby birds? So I can figure out. I can start with that. I can start with the number of birds. Since I know it's 1/5. 1/5 of 375 is 75 birds. Yeah, 75 birds. So I have that part down. There are 3 times as many adult mammals as baby mammals. The number of baby birds is 7/15 the number of baby mammals. So now I need to remove the number of birds from the total animals. So mammals, how much mammals we have in this zoo, boy? It'll be 375 minus the birds is 300. And it's separated like this. I'll use a little mini block diagram here. Spammers. Who's this spammer? Silica. Who else? Pay attention, folks. Don't worry about these spammers. Those of y'all who get distracted easily, y'all can tune off the chat. The chat is just so people could share answers and that kind of thing. But of course, we have some students who are a little extra in the chat. Maybe they didn't. They forget their behavior. When they log out the behavior, they didn't log in with them too. Sometimes this does happen. You log in and you forget to log in. You forget to log in with your behavior, but you log in and you forget your behavior outside. Alright, so 375 minus 75 is 300. So we have the number of mammals. So let's focus. The number of baby birds is okay. So I wanted to draw a little block diagram here to show this information. 3 times as many adults. So that's the adults. And that's the baby mammals. This is just for mammals. So it's 4 parts. 4 parts. And you understand how I'm slowly picking apart this question. It's like food. I'm taking it apart bit by bit. 4 parts will be equal to 300 divided by 4. And 300 divided by 4 is 75. Now so, because 100 divided by 4 is 25. So 300 divided by 4 is 75. So I know there are 75 baby mammals. And then I'm going to use this information now. 7/15 of the number, so the birds, baby birds. What a question. This question takes me all over the galaxy. Baby birds is equal to 7/15 multiplied by 75, which is, Jordan, why are you saying so over and over? You would be blocked. You all need to just ask your question if you have a question. Don't say so, right? Which is 15 going into this 5 times 35, which is what a lot of people got. 55 baby birds. Let's go down to the third to last question. There are 690 handkerchiefs in a store, linen and silk. I hope it's just linen and silk. And these days in these questions, they only ask me like a million different things. Just take me to Mars and bring me back. We don't need to go around the whole galaxy. Half of the linen handkerchiefs is 120 more than 25% of the silk handkerchiefs. Oh my gosh. This is one of those theoretical possibilities that can happen in an unequal sharing question. That is pretty rough. It's pretty rough to bring a block diagram for this. Let me see if I can bring out something. Half of the linen handkerchief is 120 more than 25% of the silk handkerchief. All right, so this is the linen handkerchief, right? This is the linen. You see, if I take this half, it's equal to 120 plus 25% of the, you understand the question? Plus 25% of the silk. So this is half the linen, half and half. So the blue part is the linen. Why is it in the chat if that makes sense? Yeah, this type I got it if you see it. Try to split it up here real nice. So how are we going to use this way? Half your linen is equal to 25% plus 120. This is the 25% of the silk. Oof. So in other words, I can split this up like this. I can say this here, this part here, is really constituting of a 25 and a 120 and another 25 and another 120. Am I making sense? That is making perfect sense. That is making perfect sense. Suits. Some of you need to come back and watch it by this one. A sense in it. This is a rough one. It was rough for me too. Yeah, it was rough for me too earlier. Imagine that. I'm 34 years. So imagine you who's 11 and 10 and 12. Wow. So yeah, 4 marks. It's rough. So half, let's just recap it to see if we can get more people on. Half of the linen is equal to 25% of the silk plus 120. That's what they say. Half of the linen is 120 more than 25% of the silk. So instead of writing the linen as two halves, I'll just write it as 25% of the silk plus 120. 25% of the silk plus 120. And the reason I'm doing that is because now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts plus an excess. Plus an excess. So the excess is how much? The excess is 240. 120 plus 120. And if I remove the excess, class, I get 690 minus the 240, which is 450 handkerchiefs. What this 450 handkerchiefs represents? This represents 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts. So 6 parts equal 450. 1 part equal 450 divided by 6, which is 75. Again, are we getting 75 all the time? So boy, suspicious. So how many silk handkerchiefs we have now? There'll be 75 times 4. The silk would be 75 times 4, 300 silk. 300 silk. And that would mean 390 of this, because it's 690 all. So 300 silk, 390 linen. Let's see if this makes sense. This should be 75 and 75 is 150 plus 120 and 120 is 240. Add up to give me 390. Perfect, perfect. Everything is working out. Everything is working out. So you can double check it. You can bring back any numbers that you get and make sure it work out. So what do you think? I think this is the hardest question we do so far for the day. So take back this question and do it over. Let's see if there's even harder. That was the hardest question for the day, boy. Wait, sir. Why this question looking like it's trying to be harder for? This is the second to last question of here. Stay strong. Stay with me. 2 hours and 25 minutes. 1 hour and 25 minutes. 225. Fruit punch, orange juice, pineapple juice, water. Oh my gosh. When you see so much parts, it means it's hard. According to the recipe for fruit punch, for every 4 cups of orange juice, 3 cups of pineapple juice, and 9 cups of water will use. So to make the fruit punch, to make one batch, I guess, I would need 4 orange juice cups, right? 3 cups of the pine juice and 9 cups of water. All right, fine. How many cups of each ingredient we're using? If the recipe was followed through, they take into account 100, that there were 144 cups. Oh, this is easy. This is our batch out. You need to batch this question. Remember, we do not unequal sharing worksheet today, so that's why we stop at 25, because all these questions are like 3 marks, 4 marks, and that kind of thing. So one batch. So this is one batch of fruit punch, right? To make one batch, how many cups? 4, 3, and 9 is 16 cups. And if we use 144 cups total, how many batches? Number of batches would be 144 divided by 16. It's how much, class? 144 divided by 16. 9? 9. 9 cups. So, no, 9 batches. 9 batches. So, 9 sets of fruit punch batches. So, to figure out how much cups of orange juice, because I need to figure out how many cups of each ingredient, orange will be 4 times 9. Tell me what that is. 4 times 9 is 36 cups. Well done, guys. I'll get out this one. I know this one. Is the one before this was hard. Pineapple was 3 times 9, which is 27. And water is 9 nines, which is a square number. 9 nines are 81 cups. Last question. You all don't need to type a million times. Just type your question. Just type your question. I'll take a little look at it. Hi, Celicia from Jamaica. Last question. I cannot believe you reached the last question. All you ever do an assignment or a piece of work or a paper and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I will never finish. I will never finish. That's how I was feeling, because I'm feeling sick and tired, and I just these questions just keep going on and on and on. And it's so hard. 126 balloons are shared equally among 3 teams: Team Alpha, Team Beta, and Team Gamma. So when I keep repeating the questions, go over these questions, you can do over the same exact questions, and try and see if you can understand all in the end. How many balloons did each team receive? Equally. So equally, since it's shared equally, each team will get equal 126 divided by 3. How much is that? 42. 42. It's 42. So that's 1 mark. That's 1 mark. That's what it's fixing. If instead they share it with Team Beta, the 3 times more than Team Gamma. Gamma here. Beta here. The next line we then tell me what I need to change it. This Team Alpha got 5 times more than Team Gamma. If that's say 5 times more than this, and I draw 15, which is like crazy. So it's just 5 times more than this, which is 5 times more than that. 5 parts. That's Team Alpha. Alpha, Beta, and Gamma. Also, different type of radioactive decay. For those of y'all who will go into physics later on, remember I told you it first. How were the balloons divided? Okay, fine. So how many parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we do this a lot. 9 parts equal how much it was? What is the total? 9 parts was 126 balloons. Is 126 divisible by 9? $14. 1 part, 126 divided by 9, 14 balloons. So gamma will get 14. Beta will get 14 by 3, which is 42. And alpha will get 14 by 5, which is half of 140, which is 70 balloons. And just like that, we have arrived at the end of the unequal sharing worksheet. Thank you for hanging out with me here this Sunday. Next week I'll be back to my full health, please God, and we will continue with our past paper sessions. So we only have 3 more to go in on here. I only plan to do 12 of them, and the reason being that all right, the live is still going on. See, the state of my face is almost like if I just run a race. All right, so yeah, I don't know why, but I got disconnected for a second. I will do all my shoutouts next week. I just came back to say goodbye properly. We will see everyone here next week for a full session of revision. Love and blessings, everybody. Hold it down.